We're still hanging here by the pool with Slash from Guns N' Roses, and of course Snake Pit. We just checked out a Snake Pit video. Good to see that one again, actually. Good choice, Slash. I know you've had a lot of downtime from Guns N' Roses in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. You've kind of...
I've done like, since the last last show from the Guns tour, I've done like 580 some odd gigs. So, no, I haven't had any downtime. I've been doing a soundtrack for a movie called Curdled that's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I wrote a song for that. And then we're working on the Howard Stern movie right now, which is, and actually in this particular hotel, I've been writing all this stuff in the studio downstairs. So I've been working, and then I just keep playing, you know, and doing gigs. And because if I'm not playing, I'm not happy, you know. And if Axl and I aren't seeing eye to eye on something having to do with guns, then I just go, okay, peace, you know, gotta go, see you. And I go off and work elsewhere until we do come to a meeting of the minds, you know.
Yeah, what I actually meant was you've had downtime from Guns N' Roses, and I know you don't like to like sit around, but also this whole kind of thing of when you went back to Snake Pit and stuff, you like the whole underground feel of all the side projects that you do, don't you?
I wouldn't have traded, we did, I don't know, 180 gigs in 4 months. In 4 continents, and it was like to the point where we didn't, if we were lucky, we had day rooms where the whole band would sleep in one room. So we'd have us all, you know, and that's like the old days. And so I wouldn't have traded that experience for anything in the world. And whether it was like the, you know, the quintessential, I mean, it was never supposed to be as epic as Guns N' Roses turned out to be. It was just going out there and playing for kids and meeting them and just jamming. That's where I come from. So it's like I had a really good time doing it. And it also reestablished in my mind why it is the fuck that I do what I do, you know.
Excellent. And I know it's difficult for you to say, but if you could look in like a crystal ball and predict, when do you think Guns might actually get into the studio, and how do you think it's going to go from here?
Well, at this point, now that Axl and I are really civil, you know.
I'm very pleased to hear that.
No, we went out to dinner recently and had a bottle of wine together and like sat and talked about what we were interested in and so on and so forth. You know, more complicated, I guess, than it normally would be, but Axl's a very complicated guy. He does like to talk about this stuff. I like to just plug in and jam, and that's sort of the thing that's the difference between guitar players, is he's sort of a visionary. Sounds like Spinal Tap. And then I just like to play my guitar, but we did sit down a couple times and have a really good meeting. And so at this point I start rehearsal in a week and a half or so, and we just take it from there. That's the way I see it. If you were to talk to him, it would probably be like a little bit more, I don't know, planned out than that, but I'll just show up and we'll go from there. It'll work out though. I'm sure it will. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much, and lots of luck with Guns N' Roses. And that's very exciting news that the band are going to be getting back into the studio sometime this year. I think we can say that. All right, thanks, Slash, and we'll speak to you, I guess, next Guns N' Roses album. Yeah, that's great. Cheers. All right, well, we got to go to our first short break right now, and after that we're going to be hooking up with Ian Astbury, of course, formerly of The Cult, and in fact we've got a classic Cult video on the way as well, but we're actually going to be talking to Ian in depth about his new band Holy Barbarians. It's basically a whole thing about dislocated musicians.
Exactly. So stay tuned, see you after these messages with Ian Astbury from the Holy Barbarians.
Lion the man in the face.